gun control. Sounds like something you hear on American news right after every mass shooting, right? While the US struggles to even get it past Congress, our country's wise leaders have already implemented it since 1960 with the Arms Act, which technically means the only guns anyone can lawfully own are these.
4002.
But we've been getting cases of broad daylight shooting all year round. Let me run you through the stats. This year, up till July, there were 14 cases. May was the only month without a single case. And most shootings were done in close range when the victims are on the road and in their vehicles. Were these hired assassinations? Or are we turning into Mexico? That map is starting to look like Peninsula Malaysia if it goes on. Now, whatever the reason is, let's not speculate and leave it to Sherlock to find out. Our IGP Khalid is telling us to take a chill pill because everything is under control. Well, if it is under control, I wouldn't be doing this episode. Because in 2013, Malaysia already had a record of 30 shootings in 4 months, killing 24 people. Which begs the question, where do all these guns come from? Isn't it supposed to be super difficult to get one? Well, under the Arms Act, before you even get to hold a gun, the chief police officer, that's right, it's him again, he will need to grant you a permit, given that you have a good reason for having the firearm or for public safety and public interest reasons. Then there's the Firearms Act that says committing crimes like robbery and house break-in with guns can be punished by the death penalty. Owning a gun without permit, you get 14 years in jail and 6 strokes. Even if you're threatening someone with a fake gun, 10 years in prison and a minimum 3 whips. Yeah, so you might want to swap that out for a Tamagotchi or something. Do they still make them? So you see, regulations are in fact very tight. It's almost on par with our drug trafficking laws. Out of about 30 million people in our total population, only less than 9,000 people in Malaysia are licensed to carry firearms. But if you know where the lobangs are, who said you need to buy it from a proper gun store, silly? According to crime watchdog MyWatch, if you need a gun quick and dirty, you can actually rent one from the black market. A gun only costs $300 for 3 hours, and for bullets, it's just 80 cents. Holy cow, real bullets are cheaper than playing whack-a-mole at the arcade. The problem is not just internal. Our borders full of loopholes. That makes smuggling firearms through the Thai border just as easy. The fee? As cheap as 10 ringgit. Now, I'm not suggesting that you ditch Counter-Strike and go for the real one, but it just goes to show that laws are merely words on a piece of paper if you can't enforce them. Like the IGP said, the reasons behind gun violence are mostly linked to gang fights rather than random fires. Well then, take care of it. We didn't pay taxes to see real-life GTA on our streets. Let's look at it from 2 angles. Demand and supply. Unlike the US, guns are not household staples in Malaysia. Legitimate demand comes mainly from the security industry, the military, and maybe a handful of shooting range. Illegal ones? You guessed it. Criminal activities, drug trafficking, and gang rivalry. No doubt the police force have been busting drug rings and robbery gangs. Great job, #keep it up. But faster please. Supply-wise, we need some serious border control.
Senor, why me? You should be focused on the drug smugglers. Me? No! It's the terrorists who are the real danger.
While illegal immigrant is another can of worms we don't want to open today, loosely guarded borders is where the unlicensed guns come from. I mean, if these guys can slip past the gate, or in fact no gate, how hard is it to traffic a handgun? Then comes the hardest part, cutting off supply of criminals. Most people who resort to crime have limited chances of moving up the social hierarchy, had problems in school, and probably negative peer influence. Strapped for resources, crime could be their only way to survive. So as preachy as this sounds, education, poverty eradication, and even rehab should be the long-term solution. Relying only on enforcing gun control is like building bigger prisons for more criminals, rather than asking why are people going into crime in the first place. The last thing we want is for public safety to turn so bad that we start to feel that these guns alone aren't enough anymore. Just saying.